Sometimes you just have to find a way to win. In league play, FIU's really good. Look at their last 2 games against UAB. They beat UAB. They were in position to beat FAU on Wednesday night and lost in overtime. So we knew how good they're playing, the talented roster, and we made a run at the end of the first half that looked like, okay, we got some momentum here. And, man, they punched right back to start the second half, and we struggled to score and give them credit. I mean, we're coming in, if not the best, we're one of the best teams in the league at not turning the ball over. We lead, I think it's just the turnover ratio. We're probably top of the league. And on the flip side of that, they're one of the best teams at turning their opponent over, creating turnovers. And it was kind of a battle of those two dynamics right there. And they won that. I mean, we turned the ball over way too much, and that's how they got that lead. I looked over at Coach Franklin at one time and said, Tal, we've only scored 6 points, and there's about 10 minutes on the clock, so that wasn't a good feeling. But we found a way to break through, and just a lot of individual effort, but collectively just found a way to break through and pull out a win there at the end. Great finish, the way that we finished the game. We needed that. We needed that going into Monday night.
Question?
Second half, you went with Jordan and Davion on the floor at the same time quite a bit. And I thought that might have helped you, just your quickness and defensive intensity or pressure a little bit. What was the thought on that?
Well, we started Christian, and the reason we started him because we want to see what he could do. He had great energy in the building, our best crowd of the year, really good opponent. We want to see what he could do because we've seen Jordan. Like everybody probably thought Jordan was going to start, including himself, and he handled that good. But we want to see what Christian could do. And he played well. I mean, he played 24 minutes. He had good numbers, hit those first 2 threes. He showed us something, like we want to see, okay, what are you going to do with the lights on in an environment like this? What are you going to do? And he took another step in his career. Now, in the second half, that game got tight, and Jordan struggled now. Jordan struggled first half. He struggled early in the second half, but he has experience on his side. And he's just a guy who can make plays. And I thought down the stretch, he got to the foul line, made his free throws, and this team right now, it's kind of next man up. Whoever's in, it doesn't matter who it is. Everybody's doing their job.
I think it was after that under 8 timeout when they had that lead, and then you all made the comeback after that. What having so many turnovers before that, what was the message going into that timeout, and how did that change?
Well, we didn't talk too much about turnovers because that's something sometimes you don't want to, sometimes turnovers you got to kind of forget it and go to the next play. One time Coach Cross, he scouted FIU, and he had told the team about it. But until you're on the floor doing it, you don't realize what's going on. But, he made a point of emphasis at halftime of, don't take that extra dribble because that's where they're really good at slapping down and creating turnovers. And they had active hands. We drove in there and tried to skip it 2 or 3 times, and they stole it. So we didn't talk about it a whole lot, but we just told them, that our main theme the whole night was just keep playing hard, keep playing hard. The first half, we said just keep playing hard. We could see some fatigue in them. We said we'll break their will. We said we may not break their will first half, but ultimately we'll break their will. We'll just keep playing hard. Well, then they kind of flip it on a second half and make that run, and now we're down. So in a huddle then, we're saying, okay, now you got to be hard-headed. You got to be stubborn because everybody in the building thinks you're probably getting ready to get beat right now. And you got FAU coming in Monday, and you're going to go into it with a loss. But we said be hard-headed, be hard-headed. And you can see in their eyes, they knew what we were talking about. And we were stubborn. We kept fighting. We kept plugging. And then, boom, we made that run. And it went from about a 2-point game. We had that 10-point lead just like that. So that was a huge run. I can't even remember. Dana can tell me. I know Jarius hit a big 3 in that stretch. It seemed like we hit a second big 3. But, yeah, that's right. That's right. But we got to the foul line, too.
Yeah, can you talk about Tyrone and having 4 blocks and, what he did out there defensively today?
Well, he just, man, we've said this, sound like a broken record. You give him an opportunity, he's going to get something done now. He's just that kind of guy. And we just felt like and Jamar was playing good, man. He was doing good. He didn't finish a couple plays offensively in the first half, but he was doing pretty good defensively. He was rebounding the ball. But we just felt like we needed a spark offensively because if you notice, they were switching everything. They were switching. The center was everybody. They were switching defensively, switching everything, and we weren't attacking it very well. So we thought we had to go small to try to create some opportunities. And they made one mistake on Jarius on I think 2 guys went with the ball, and then he got an open 3, and then the play you're referencing, Dana, Luke did a little slice action, kind of faked the screen and sliced out of it, and Dave found him, and he nailed a huge 3 right there. But back to your question about Tyrone, he's just an energy guy. And I think everybody in Diddle Arena knows now what he's all about. Everybody in our locker room knows what he's all about. And those blocks he had, I mean, he'll just go get a block. I mean, he's about 6'6", but he's a quick jumper. He's got great length. He's got a great IQ. He knows when that opportunity is coming. And those blocks he made were critical. It created about 3 or 4 late shots. It was crazy. You don't see this very often. But how many times did they take the ball out on the baseline with 3 seconds on the shot clock, with 2 on the shot clock, the one time with 8? I think we made a mistake one time, and Jones got a wide open 3, but I think he missed it. So I don't think they scored in any of those situations. Those were critical plays.
Phil, what can you tell us about Rick's status and when he may be coming?
He's definitely, feeling better, and I think he'll be back soon. And it's kind of day to day. Don't know exactly when he'll be back, but he's definitely doing better. I talk to him all the time, so he's definitely doing better.
Is there a practice before going to games?
Excuse me?
Is there a plan when you go practice for a little while before you try to go back?
I don't know. I mean, he'll figure that out. I mean, he's been doing this for a long time, so he can walk back in and be ready to go immediately. He's that, it's all he's done his whole life. We were talking about that the other night. He said, yeah, you're back in that head coach's role, and I said, yeah. I said, you don't sleep as much. He started laughing. He knew exactly what I was talking about.
That was your conversation today, or?
That was last night. Yeah.
You held them to 6 3-pointers tonight, and I know last time they played like about 12 or 13 or 14, something like that. Was that a point of emphasis tonight about defensive-wise, limit their 3-point shooting?
Right. We've been talking to our team about guarding the 3-point line. The 2 areas, 3-point line, our 3-point defense, and giving up offensive rebounds. Those are the 2 areas. Offensive rebounding, which means for us defensive rebounding, that's more effort and toughness and going and getting it and blocking out. That's more correctable than 3-point. I think we're playing hard defensively. We're one of the best teams in the league in field goal percentage. Talked about this a week ago. We're one of the leading teams in the league field goal percentage overall, but we're down to bottom in 3-point defense. So I think for the first time tonight, we held them, what did we hold them to?
6 for 23.
Yeah, 6 for 23. So the first time we did a good job on the 3-point line, and in particular, we did a heck of a job on Jones, he's the second leading scorer in the league. He'd averaged 24.5 a game coming in the last 4 games. So we have points of emphasis like keys to winning a game, and one of those 3 points of emphasis today for this game in particular was to keep him, to lock him down. And he's a heck of a player. Now, you look what he's done against UAB and FAU. We held him to 9 points. He had 3 points at halftime, and he was tired. You could see because we were doubling him some. We were trying to make somebody else beat us, and because he could beat you now. You ask UAB, he beat them. He had 29 on them. And our main thing was we're not going to let Jones beat us, and it's not easier said than done now. Easier said, but give our guys credit. I mean, they followed a game plan, and to hold him to 9, that's the difference in winning and losing. Take 13 points off the board, and again, some of the other guys stepped up and scored some more, maybe more than they normally do. But we were going to make those guys beat us.
Quick turnaround with league leader FAU coming in. What do they do that concerns you? What have they done particularly well this year?
Well, Jeff, they're really versatile. I mean, for example, on defense, they'll switch 1 through 4, meaning everybody, let's say, and when in terminology, in terms of numbers, basketball-wise, Jamar is for us, he's our 5. Dave's the 1, Christian was the 2 tonight, Luke's the 3, and Jarius is 4. So 1 through 4, they'll switch anything. Ball screens, they'll switch. A lot of teams in college basketball are doing that now. But they're really good at that, so that's different. Not many people do that. So that's different about them. They do that, and that's why I go back to their versatility. They play 2 centers who are big and tough and physical. One's more of a skilled guy, scores in space. The other one's a screener and run to the rim, hard-playing guy. But their guards are so good. I mean, they got a bunch of them. I mean, they got a bunch of them. Forrest is coming off the bench. He's one of the best guards in the league, and he's coming off the bench. I mean, and so they spread you out. They shoot a lot of threes. They're efficient from the three-point line. They can drive it too, and they play with a loose and free mentality. You know, they're from the beach, right? They kind of got that beach mentality. They won't be uptight because we got a big crowd in here Monday night. They won't be uptight. You can count on that. They're going to be loose and free and firing it up and driving it and kicking it and playing like they play. And it's kind of like that their coach's personality, and they're really good. I mean, they're good on both sides of the ball, and they've found a way to win. I mean, they've had a couple games. North Texas, think about this against North Texas. They're down 9 with about 5 minutes to go and go on a 13-0 run to win the game. And that's at North Texas. That doesn't happen in North Texas. So that tells you what they're made of. They got toughness, and you win a couple of games like that, and your confidence goes through the roof. So we got a confident team coming in here, but our team's got confidence too. This was the game. We know how good FIU was, but our guys follow stuff. They knew FAU won today. So they knew they're coming in here undefeated in the league, possibly top 25, and Jeff Goodman's top 25. They are in the top 25. They could be in the AP top 25 when they roll up in here Monday night. So our guys knew that. So they knew, like okay, you got to win tonight to make Monday really, really important and fun and all that stuff for the fans and for everybody. So tonight was the game that I felt like we had some pressure. You know, Coach, we overthink everything, but I felt like there was some pressure on our part that we didn't play as loose and free. Like Wednesday night down at UAB, man, that second half, we scored 48 points. Man, we're just hooping, man. We're spread out, playing. You didn't see that tonight. Part of that's FIU, but I think part of that was they knew Monday night was coming, and they knew, felt like, oh, we got to win this game. We got to win. We got to win. We all did. Coaches did too.
Speaking of Jerry's too, I thought he made a lot of kind of winning basketball plays for you tonight. He's a forward, but he plays really well out on the perimeter. Just really seems to have good court vision. We saw that with a couple assists. You can definitely knock down a shot too.
Yeah, Jarius he's playing well. He plays like he epitomizes when I say we're playing hard collectively, individually. He plays so hard, and I tell his dad all the time, man, you should be proud of him because how hard he plays. You know, you did something in that house. Something you did in that house was you did it right because that joker plays hard, and he knows how to play. He's versatile. He can slide down and play the 5. He can make shots. He can score off the dribble. I thought in the first half he had that post move he made in there late in the first half and turned over that left shoulder. That was a big play for us because we weren't great offensively in the first half either, and he kind of got us going. But I'll tell you what he's doing right now. He's leading with his voice. He's talking. He's saying the right things. I constantly see him talking to his teammates and telling them where to be. And he's an experienced guy. You know, he's been around the block a couple times, and that's what makes this team good.
Phil, can you talk about Luke in this 1,000-point club? What he's meant to do?
Yeah, I told him before the game, Jim. I said, man, I love the opportunity to give you this ball because, you know, Luke Frampton, as a coach, you always look ahead. So I look to next year and say, all right, who's going to do what that guy does? Like, how do you replace what Luke Frampton does? Like, you all know how hard it is on his body to take those charges? I mean, that guy right there now, we always, in our video, we always put, when we have a charge taken, and he's about every clip, and Jarius, we told him, all right, we got Luke, now we got Jarius, who's going to be that third guy to take charges. But we always put sacrifice your body for the team. We always get little notes on the video. We always put sacrifice your body for the team. That guy, man, Luke Frampton, I mean, I don't know what a fan sitting up there in the stands sees, but I can tell you from a coach's perspective, we'll be sitting around here next year saying, we miss that guy. Who's going to take the charges? Who's going to take the big shot? He comes to work every day. You don't ever have to worry about him coming in not ready to go. And he's an incredible teammate too. And the guys know it, and they just know it. And he does so many things well. And him scoring 1,000, he's got an interesting story with his family and just his career transferring here. And he's a graduate. Now he's going to walk that line. In May. He's already graduated. He only has to take one class in the spring. So, get emotional talking about Luke because he's like, as a coach, you dream about coaching guys like Luke Frampton. We told our young players, we said, look, if you want to learn from all these older guys, take different things from these older guys and learn from them. And we said, Luke Frampton, like he is about the team. Learn from that. He makes all the little plays. If there's a loose ball on the floor, I promise you the first guy on the floor is going to be number 14 in white or red. Every time. And there's no substitute for his effort, his toughness, and his commitment to winning. Not individually, his commitment to making sure the team wins. We will miss him like nobody in this arena knows next year.
Any updates on you, Aaron? Will he be available?
Still day to day. He's got a chance. Got a chance to play Monday. I mean, we missed him out there tonight. You know, he's a post-up guy. You know, and he was playing good, man. He played good down at San Antonio. He had a little extra juice about him Wednesday night down at UAB before he got hurt rather. But you know, hopefully have him. I mean, we'd love to have him. He'll be back after that for sure. But you know, let's just hope he's got a chance. He's got a chance. That's all I can say. I don't know any more than that, but it would be a big bonus. But if not, we got to line up and play him without him.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you all.